Local breaking news. This is WYFF News 4 at 6 in high definition.
Charles Towns will always be remembered for his contributions to science, but his biographer tells us he's made some to religion as well.
A 4-year-old boy is found dead after a mobile home fire in Buncombe County. Tonight, the unusual circumstances, neighbors and investigators are asking questions.
And we begin tonight with that mobile home fire and the investigation underway right now. Authorities are working to determine what caused the fire and the death of the 4-year-old who was found inside.
It happened outside Leicester in Buncombe County. WYFF News 4's Ashley Swan reports on the circumstances that have neighbors shaken.
A resident took this photo as a mobile home burned on Boyd Cove Road in Leicester just after 8:30 Wednesday morning. The fire chief tells us his crews responded to find a woman who lived here outside, badly burned but alive. Sadly, that was not the case for a 4-year-old child they discovered once inside the burned out structure.
Oh, it's always tough dealing with anybody, adult, child. It's all tough when we don't ever want to see that.
Now it's what the first people on the scene saw and heard that has some in this remote community asking questions. A neighbor who didn't want to go on camera says she heard the woman's cries coming from the mobile home. When she responded, she says the woman repeatedly told her there was no one inside.
When I arrived on the scene, of course, she was done being taken care of by medical, and I can't confirm any of that.
Multiple agencies, including the Fire Marshal, Arson Task Force, and Sheriff's Office, spent the day investigating. The neighbor told us off camera that had they known, they would have tried to get the child out. Leicester Fire Chief Chris Brown wouldn't comment.
Like I say, it's still under investigation at this point. We may know some details later.
But says investigators will get to the bottom of what happened. In Buncombe County, Ashley Swan, WYFF News 4.
A reminder for you, we broke that story today on our mobile app, and if you don't have it, you can download it easily and for free from your app store, and be sure to sign up for breaking news alerts from WYFF News 4 along with it.
A Greenville County school aide has died following a car crash last night. 53-year-old Lisa Horton worked at Buena Vista Elementary and was also an after-school caregiver there. She previously worked at Paris and Taylor's Elementary. The coroner says she was driving on Highway 14 last night when another car hit her car. Horton was taken to Greenville Memorial and died this morning.
The Asheville police tell us a man is badly hurt after a truck he was driving flipped over. Police tell us Joshua Jolly was driving a construction truck on I-26 a little after 8 this morning. They tell us he lost control and the truck slid, flipped, and hit a guardrail. Jolly's being treated right now at Mission Hospital, and we understand the injuries are potentially life-threatening.
New developments tonight in the case of a Simpsonville homeowner who shot and killed an intruder, only to find the intruder was his estranged son-in-law. The Greenville County coroner says Michael Farrell had blunt force trauma to his body, but investigators don't know what it's from. The coroner says Farrell died from a gunshot wound. The homeowner, John Hughes, says he didn't know at whom he was shooting.
Right now, ambulance response times in Greenville County are at the center of a heated argument. This all centers around changes about how EMS operates. WYFF News 4's Corey Davis is here with more on the changes tonight. Corey?
Michael, instead of responding from fire stations, some EMS trucks are repositioned to different areas like QT and Spinks gas stations, just to name a few. Some say this creates a safety issue. This ambulance at a Spinks gas station is one of many across Greenville County waiting to respond to an emergency. Some crews used to wait at fire stations for calls, but now the county's hybrid system has them scattered in other locations.
It is simply a matter of, to best serve the area, this would be the best possible spot based on a lot of data that was collected to allow that ambulance to get to the call in the quickest manner possible.
County administration says these locations change throughout the day based on the history of how many people are calling in.
Our response times, we try and keep it between that 8 and 12-minute range, and 12-minute and 30-second range, and we do that very successfully in the 90th percentile.
Councilman Lynn Ballard disagrees.
We have calls that are taking 20, 25, and 30 minutes.
Ballard represents the southern portion of the county. Right now, he and Councilman Joe Dill are worried emergency crews are being repositioned to more populated areas.
And they deserve that quick response if they need it, the same as anyone else.
Ballard says with crews not being at a fire station and sitting in their trucks, he believes the changes create a performance issue for workers.
If you've been sitting in a vehicle for hours at a time, you're cramped, you're probably been very uncomfortable, your mind is not as sharp as it could be, and this could affect the care that you provide to someone in need.
So when they do have downtime, so to speak, in between calls, they will be stationed in their vehicles or nearby their vehicles, but most of the time they are on the run.
County Council members will discuss the topic again during a meeting next Tuesday. It will happen at 6 p.m. It's also open to the public. Carol?
Thank you, Corey. Monday's blizzard left behind plenty of snow in the Northeast. A drone flying over New York City at sunset shows a handful of people who've dug out from underneath the blanket of snow to enjoy the weather.
A beautiful sight there, and here as well. Sky 4 over the mountains of Haywood County earlier today. Of course, a milder week here in the Carolinas than in New England. But you can still find some snow up there in the high country, and it is going to be cold all over the Carolinas tonight. Chief Meteorologist John Sesrich is right here. And John, are we feeling some of that chill from the snowy Northeast right now?
Yeah, a little bit of it. High pressure that's actually brought a lot of their cold air. It's modified quite a bit, but it's starting to slowly move in from the north to the south across the area. And you can see on live Super Doppler 4 HD, things are nice and quiet, but we warmed up nicely in the upstate. Still pretty chilly in the mountains, but current temperatures, yeah, it's 33 right now in Boone, upper 30s in Asheville, 34 degrees in Hendersonville. It's pretty cold temperatures in the mountains, but the key, very little wind to speak of, and we were dealing with bitterly cold temperatures and winds in through the mountains over the last several days, so that is certainly good news. Already 48 in downtown Greenville, 47 degrees currently in Anderson, and it's 50 in Spartanburg. We'll look ahead of the weekend a little bit later on. Now back to you, Michael.
John, thanks. We'll see you then. Close to 600 new jobs are coming to the upstate thanks to Rite Aid's decision to build in Spartanburg County. WYFF News Force Mike McCormick is live and local on this developing story. And Mike, when will we know about the jobs?
Well, Rite Aid plans to release more information in the second part of the year, and when you see the site for that new distribution center, you'll likely understand why. Right now, it is just a big field, a big empty field at the corner of Flatwood and Bryant Roads. That's near I-85 in Spartanburg County. The upstate location will actually take the place of 3 existing distribution centers in Alabama, Charlotte, and West Virginia. The Spartanburg Economic Futures Group, which was instrumental in making all this happen, tells us the Inland Port, the location near I-85, and Spartanburg Community College all helped attract Rite Aid to Spartanburg County. A $520,000 grant from the South Carolina Power Team and Broad River Electric Cooperative will go toward the basic equipment and roads needed to support Rite Aid's move to this spot.
I think we're really thrilled to have this opportunity. We're setting the pace for economic development in South Carolina, there's no question.
Today on our Facebook page, many of you commented that you really don't see Rite Aid locations like this one in our area. Well, according to the company, they have about 95 stores in South Carolina, and about 30 of them are here in the upstate. Mike McCormick, WYFF News 4, live tonight in Spartanburg County.
All right, Mike, thank you for that. The world tonight is saying goodbye to a Greenville native who won the Nobel Prize. Dr. Charles Towns died yesterday. He was 99, a graduate of Greenville High and Furman University. WYFF News 4's Myra Ruiz tonight with a man who says there's much more to the legacy of Charles Towns than his science.
These are photographs that might end up in the pages of Charles Towns' biography. The man who's writing the book says there's a lot to learn about the mind and heart of the inventor of the laser.
And in Towns' life, it starts as a kid. He's always interested in science, but he's also interested in the wider issues and questions about creation, where we come from, where we're going.
Biographer Michael Smith says Towns' early work on the laser was likely for purposes of war, but the invention led to major advances in medicine, communications, and other industries.
Most of the things that came out of the laser were well past the patent on the laser. And strangely enough, he got very little financial remuneration.
As a world-class scientist, Towns rubbed shoulders with royalty and served on presidential panels. He received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1964, the same year Martin Luther King received his Nobel Prize for Peace.
The interesting link was that Dr. Towns' sister had been a part of the Selma March, and so there was some kind of familial connection, at least friendship. And so they were able to kind of build off of that and renew that while he was there.
Smith says Towns was raised as a Southern Baptist in Greenville and later became a leader in the Congregationalist Church.
And becomes a part of the acceptance diversity movement.
Smith says Towns' open mind also led to the prestigious Templeton Prize, which is awarded to individuals of science and religion.
He's quite the secret, quite the surprise.
Myra Ruiz, WYFF News 4.
And at Furman University, students took a moment to remember Dr. Towns. He graduated from the university in 1935, later dedicating the Charles H. Towns Center for Science in 2008. His pictures, accomplishments, and awards hang there in the halls.
It's just sad to know that someone who was such a big part of Furman that does have such a family environment is no longer with us. But also cool to know that you can have such a big impact on Furman and stay around, because his name and his legacy will also always be attached to this building.
Yeah, Dr. Towns, he had a pretty profound impact on Furman. I know it's someone that we're really proud of and really just excited to have. So it's definitely a tragic loss for us.
Again, Charles H. Towns was 99 years old.